Obviously, the university has been preparing for this week since March. And since then, The Breeze's Jake Conley has been reporting on all the coronavirus stories that are important to students and residents in Harrisonburg. He joins us now in the studio to discuss the work that went into preparing for this moment. Hi, Jake. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Hi, Addison. Thanks for having me.
Diving right in, you led The Breeze's investigation series over the summer, dealing with JMU's financial struggles through COVID. Can you tell us a little bit about those stories?
Yeah, so over the past 3 or 4 months, Bryce Estes, Amy Needham, Jamie McCacken, and I, through a whole series of interviews, hundreds of pages of documents, and lots of research, put together a pretty holistic 7-part series looking at what went into JMU's $33 million COVID price tag.
What were some of those price tags that you all were investigating?
Yeah, so one of the big things is that 33 million is made up of a lot of smaller things. Several million had to get paid out by the university in refunds, but on top of that, in the athletics department, the loss of the March Madness tournament cost the program $670,000 alone. And additionally, it's not just numbers. People are getting hurt too. Because of funding cuts that had to happen, upper admin mandated a 25% faculty funding cut, which meant for a lot of adjunct professors that their classes were getting cut down or that they weren't going to teach at all this semester.
Okay, so that gets us a little bit closer to the beginning of the semester. Jake, can you tell us a little bit about your interactions with JMU marketing and communications in regard to COVID numbers?
Yeah, so about 2 weeks ago, Caitlin Waltmeyer, the Breeze editor-in-chief, and I sat down with Caitlin Reed and Mary Hope Vass, the director of JMU Communications and the associate director of JMU Communications. And we asked them, can I call you every day at 8:30 a.m. or 4:30 p.m. to get a running count of positive numbers? And they told us, you can call, but we're not going to give those numbers to you. You're going to have to wait on the dashboard that we're going to publish, and you're not going to get anything before that. And so we said okay, and we started filing Freedom of Information requests. The Freedom of Information Act is an American citizen's right to file requests for public documents from public bodies. And since JMU is a public university, they're covered by FOIA, which means we can request their internal documents. Monday night, after having filed 3 different FOIAs, we found out that one of the reporters at the Daily News Record, Harrisonburg's local paper, called the school and got those numbers with no FOIA required, nothing more than a simple ask, when we were denied those numbers, and now our FOIA request has been partially denied.
Do you have any idea why the DNR was given those numbers and not the Breeze?
What we've been told is that because that reporter and that paper have a history of working with the university, they asked and they received. However, I'd like to say that the Breeze has existed and worked with the university for 99 years now. And on top of that, student journalists are journalists, regardless of the newsroom. And the fact that our request was denied incorrectly while those numbers were handed to the DNR is, to us, not okay, and more fuel for us to fight for transparency from our institution.
Have you all won the rights to those numbers yet?
So we won a partial victory with JMU's dashboard. While some of the numbers that we requested have been published now, our biggest ask, a breakdown of positives by campus dormitory or off-campus designation, has been denied, and we believe that was an incorrect denial. To us, if you live in Garber Hall and someone else is positive and you live in Garber, you should know that in the interest of public health so you can make the best decisions. So we're going to keep fighting for those numbers.
In regards to investigations and COVID numbers and how the university is handling that, what's next for JMU's Breeze?
We're going to keep fighting for transparency. We're going to keep demanding transparency. We're going to keep filing FOIAs. We're going to keep doing everything we have to do. Right now, the university should be worried about its people, about its students, about its employees, about public health, not its brand. And we're going to keep fighting for that.
Yes. Jake, thank you so much for giving us a look into the Breeze's fight for transparency. Hopefully the university will be more willing to give us those numbers soon.
Thanks, Ed.
Coming up on Breeze TV, when JMU's Spirit Rock was vandalized, students took to the rock to protest the crime and the overall treatment of people of color on campus. What the leaders of the movement would like to change at JMU is up next.